I didn't realize how clearly my family had ranked me until my mother said it out loud at dinner. Not angrily. Not emotionally. Just calmly. "Your sister's family comes first," she said. "You're always last." My father nodded, as if she'd just stated a simple fact. My sister smirked into her wine. I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I just said, "Good to know," because something broke in that moment. Not my heart. My loyalty. Before I tell you what happened next, take a second to subscribe, and comment where you're listening from. And tell me, have you ever realized you were last in your own family? My name is Mia, and for most of my life, I learned my place without anyone ever explaining it to me. No rules. No lectures. Just patterns. Quiet ones. I grew up in a normal-looking house in Denver. Trim lawn. Neutral walls. Family photos by the door. But inside that house, attention had a direction. It flowed easily toward one person and thinned out before it ever reached me. My sister had gravity. Everything bent toward her. Plans were made around her schedule. Crises rushed toward her. Success was celebrated loudly, and me? I was the strong one. The one who didn't need much. The one who could handle it. They said it like it was praise. But it was really a warning. I wasn't unloved. That's the complicated part. I was loved in theory. You'll be fine. You're so independent. Love that sounded kind, but came with conditions. Don't ask for more. Don't take up space. Don't need us. I noticed it in small moments. My birthday cakes bought last minute, hers ordered weeks ahead. Family trips I skipped because I was better off saving. Graduation photos where I held jackets and took pictures instead of standing in the frame. When I left for community college, no one cried. Just a quick hug in the driveway. Call when you get there. So I paid my own way. Worked extra shifts. Learned to survive without safety nets. And every time I succeeded, it proved their favorite story. See? She's fine. She doesn't need us. Years later, when I moved to Seattle, nothing changed. How's work? That's nice. Did you hear what your sister's going through? I became fluent in listening, in supporting, in shrinking. So when my mother finally said the truth out loud at that dinner, what shocked me wasn't the ranking. It was how comfortable they were with it. After that night, nothing changed on the surface. But everything changed inside me. The requests kept coming. Babysitting. Covering small bills. Fixing problems no one asked for directly. This time, I didn't respond right away. I let my phone sit. I finished my coffee. I lived my day. And nothing collapsed. No disaster. No emergency. Just silence. That's when I realized how much of my life had been quietly given away. So I stopped. I separated my finances. Canceled shared access. Stopped paying for things that were never discussed, only expected. When my sister asked for money, I said one sentence. I can't. No explanation. No apology. The reaction was instant. You seem distant. You know your sister's under pressure. I did know. But knowing wasn't the same as being responsible. Then the real test came. A call from my mother. Urgent. Tight. We need to talk. I flew to Denver that weekend. The house felt heavy. Bills covered the table. My sister sat stiff and silent. My father wouldn't meet my eyes. And then they looked at me. You're stable, my dad said. You don't have kids. You can handle this. There it was. The expectation dressed up as logic. I asked one question. What happens if I don't help? The room went silent. That night, I made 2 appointments. One with a therapist. One with a legal advisor. Because if I stepped in, it wouldn't be as their safety net. It would be on my terms. When I returned the next weekend, I brought a folder. Not excuses. Not emotions. Terms. This wasn't a gift. It was a loan. With conditions. Assets sold first. Spending tracked. No new debt. Family therapy required. And one rule in writing. My future would never again be assumed. They called it cold. I called it fair. For years, I said, When you needed emotional support, I was family. When you needed money, I was infrastructure. My sister cried. My parents argued. I waited. For the first time in my life, I didn't fill the silence. The next day, they signed. No speeches. No apologies. Just shaking hands and tired eyes. The fallout wasn't loud. It was quiet. Budgets replaced assumptions. Boundaries replaced guilt. Responsibility stopped landing on me. Back in Seattle, my life felt lighter. I slept better, worked better, breathed better. And one evening, alone in my apartment, I understood something simple. I wasn't waiting to be chosen anymore. I had chosen myself. Being last in my family didn't mean I needed to try harder. It meant I needed to step out of the line completely and build a life where my value didn't depend on sacrifice. If this story felt familiar, you're not alone. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me where you're listening from. And if stories like this help you breathe a little easier, subscribe because the next one might be exactly what you need.